Hello, my legion of leasers, my army of apartment maniacs, my horde of housing professionals. It's Matt Easton with Multifamily Traffic. And on today's episode of Ask Matt, we have a very, very special episode. On September 12th, I was lucky enough to meet with the great team at NAA, the National Apartment Association, if you've been hiding under a rock for the last 20 years. And I had a chance to speak with Clark Ebert. That is the most terrific group out there. I asked them, I said, man, you guys have done so much for us. Multifamily Traffic participated at NAA in Atlanta, and we brought on over 250 new clients to our services. How can we give back? How can we do more to help? NAA is all about helping you, whether you're in the industry, whether you are a vendor. They are a tremendous resource, a terrific group. And Clark said to me, Matt, hey, we're all about helping folks in the industry. Give us some tips, give us some red meat, give us some stuff that we can use. So on today's episode, I've got David Metzel, our digital marketing director, and he's gonna come in and we are gonna talk about 20 or so hacks that are going to help you with everything you need to know about digital marketing with your apartments, things that you can do on yourself. These are self-help tips that are going to help you. So stay tuned. I'm going to bring in David Metzel and let's get to those hacks. David, come on in.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
David, would you mind giving everybody just a quick background on yourself and your kind of unique perspective in management and technology?
Sure. Well, actually, I've grown up all my life in the multifamily industry, and it goes all the way back to my grandfather. He got my family involved with it. So I've always been around it. I've always been around leasing. I've always been around new construction. But however, my passion actually lies in digital marketing and computers, and that's where I got my degree in at Babson College in management information systems. So I'm really at home here. This is my passion. I love it, and I love seeing everybody get tons and tons of traffic through their doors.
David, with our clients, you're kind of known as the ninja or the guy that folks in the marketing department, they call you no matter what the problem is, whether it's SEO or whatever it is. If it deals with information technology and digital marketing, they call you. Let's go through. I've got some kind of ideas that I've heard on conversations and meetings with you. How about we go through some of these hacks so that you can get them out to NAA and get them out to the folks out there to help. Do you mind if we just kind of jump in on a few of these here and you give your thoughts on them?
Let's do it.
All right. Number one thing that I hear you talking about a lot is keyword research. Can you kind of give them a quick overview on keyword research, how that can help them?
Sure.
What is a keyword? I guess let's start
essentially, there. A keyword is something that somebody types into Google and is looking for something on the internet. So in the case of apartments, if you're looking for apartments in Colorado or in Denver, a lot of people would be typing in apartments for rent in Denver. However, we run into a lot of people who are trying to improve their website, but they don't really know what keywords are getting traffic.
And they're taking a guess. The property manager is saying, oh, I think it's apartments near City Park in Denver.
Exactly. But the reality is that may be a very, very small piece of the actual traffic is out there. And here at Multifamily Traffic, we use some tools that allow us to dig into what people are actually typing in Google. So when you're spending your money on your digital marketing budget, it's not going to waste on keywords that are not going to produce prospects and leads for your property.
So David, what is that tool that they can use on their own? They don't have to call us. What can they use on their own to see the top keywords renters are searching for?
The best tool out there, and what we use, it's called SEMRush. And you can find it at SEMRush.com.
That's SEMRush,
yes,
correct?
Yes, and it's actually a tool that a lot of the search engine industry, whether it be in apartments or other things, uses because they do a fantastic job of really analyzing data from Google and figuring out what people are typing in.
Okay. So I go to www.semrush.com. I get there. There's a box at the top. I'm going to guess at my route, correct? So if my apartments are in Tampa Bay and they're luxury apartments, I would do luxury apartments, Tampa Bay, put that in the box at the top there, hit the button, let SEMRush do its thing, and then it's going to give me what? It's going to give me a list?
Yeah, it'll give you all the other semantically related keywords.
Luxury two-bedroom.
Exactly. One bedroom luxury apartments in, what'd you say, Tampa?
Yep.
So it'll find all the other keywords related to that main keyword that you typed in, and it'll show you an approximation of how many times people search for that keyword inside of Google.
I think this is going to be, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is helpful even outside of SEO. If you're doing marketing campaigns, if you want to know what's going on in the industry, great tool to figure out. If you know what people are searching for, you know what they want. If you know what they want, you know how to adjust your marketing campaign and give them what they want, right?
Exactly.
All right. Another big one here that I know that this frustrates you quite a bit. Let's talk a little bit about the website itself and the phone number and the contact us and hiding how to get a hold of you. I know that can be frustrating.
You know, absolutely. And the number one thing, you know, when you're trying to get new leads in the door is the people have to be able to contact you. And what we've found a lot of times is that information, especially on property websites, is not located in an area that's easy to find and, you know, easy to search for. Even sometimes the navigation can be wrong as well. So over a number of different studies and reviews of websites, we found that the ideal place that you want to place your phone number on your website is in the top right-hand position of the site. It's what we call above the fold, and so it's right when someone loads your web page in their browser, they can't miss it. And you want it in big font. You want it very, very prominently placed in there.
I think that's an easy miss. We try to make the website pretty. We just automatically assume they've got the phone number. I can't tell you how many sites I find where I go to, you know, Philadelphia, Equinox at Philadelphia or whatever it is. I'm making up a name that's not an actual client. And I can't find the darn phone number. And then I go to contact us, and then I'm scrolling to the bottom. I'm like, I just want to lease an apartment. Who do I call? Where do I call?
Yeah, exactly.
Top right.
Top right. But not only that, there's a second piece to it, Matt, and I think a lot of people miss that as well. So much of the traffic today is mobile-based traffic. In fact, more than half of the traffic now, Google says, comes from smartphones. Yeah. So when you're going to your web developer and asking them about, you know, moving your phone number location, you want to make sure that not only do you load it up in your desktop, but in the mobile, in a number, you want to test it in a number of different mobile browsers.
And I've got iPhone 7. I know the 8 is coming out. I'm going to skip that and get the 10. Probably a good idea around the office to kind of gather some people and say, hey, which one do you have? You've got an Android. Check the Androids, check the iPhone, check the 10 versus the 8. Just try and get as many phones looking at it as possible to make sure that it's visible on each, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to the mobile visibility, if you can get that right on the top and kind of in the center of the page, that, you know, people just can't miss that.
All right, another great tip, title tags. What the heck is a title tag, David? What the heck is a title tag, and why does somebody at an apartment, at the apartment level or in the marketing office, why do they care? What's a title tag? Why do they care?
Well, a title tag is a very short blip about what the page is about. And it's something that goes into the HTML code of your website, but it's also extremely important to Google and a number of other search engines.
So when I hover over the tab on the bar, and I'll do a quick screenshot to show you, the title tag is what comes up. That's more than just showing the user. That's showing Google what the site's about.
Yes, right? And in fact, it's an extremely important factor for good Google rankings. They've done a lot of research has been done by other SEOs, and a good title tag ranks very highly in prominence of importance for search.
So make sure you check your keywords, make sure that root keyword that has the most search is in that title tag.
Yes, and actually you want to make it you want that keyword to actually be first position in that title tag.
Then the property name.
Then the property name, correct.
Right. Call us on that one if you have any questions. We're happy to help you on that one for free. All right, David. So the next thing that I've heard you talk about comes up a lot with clients. A lot of times they don't even understand what's going on here. Meta descriptions. What's a meta description, and why is that important to me if I manage an apartment community?
Great question, Matt. Well, essentially what a meta description is, it's a 160 character description of what your page is about. Each page on a website should have a unique meta description. But what's even more important about the meta description is that Google uses it to try and better understand what your website is about. And on their main ranking page, after you type in a keyword, what is shown in the results is the meta description. So the more clear you can be about what your apartment is about and where it's located in the meta description, the higher your rankings are going to be.
So if I'm luxury apartments in San Antonio, my meta description from the homepage should talk about us having luxury apartments in San Antonio.
Yeah, you don't want to be talking about the school districts in San Antonio. You want to be talking about why your apartments are luxury apartments and what those amenities are.
And then don't cookie cutter that meta description and have that on every single page, correct? So when I go in and I'm looking at my units or my floor plans, that should be a different meta description than the homepage, correct or wrong?
Correct. Each meta description for each page on your website should describe what the page is about and what you're going to tell the searcher the page is about. And Google uses that in their own algorithm. So it's extremely important. I can't tell you how many times you look at apartment complexes and they have the same meta description across all their different pages.
Not good as far as Google is concerned.
Not only not good, but the user doesn't even know what those pages are about. So how would you expect someone to click on your search result?
Okay, let's talk about homepage content. A couple things that I always, if I was going to cheat on the exam here, what I would write on the back of my hand would be searchable and keywords intermixed into content. Talk to me about the content. And when I say content, this is notorious in the industry. Photos of your apartment complex is not content, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Talk to me about content on the homepage.
Yeah, we're talking about text content, content that Google can essentially spider and understand.
Because Google can read.
Google can read. I mean, that's what their algorithms are all about, and they're getting better and better and better at reading. So the more content you can have on your homepage, the better. Ideally, we like to see 300 to 500 words about your property on your homepage. And you know, if you go and look at a lot of property websites, Matt, and why they don't rank, it's because they only have like 2 sentences about what their website is about, what their property is about, and the rest is just all pictures.
So I need at least 500 words, probably ideally 1,000 or more, right?
Yeah, if
2,000?
if you can get 1,000, ideally the highest ranking pages have about 2,000 words.
2,000 words, and we're going to have the keyword. So the keyword is apartments near University of Georgia. I want that now, it's not going to be in the old days we used to call it keyword stuffing. I'm not going to use apartments near University of Georgia in there 26 times, but at least mention it, right?
Yeah, at least you want it mentioned. But again, you know, we understand too, it's hard to come up with a lot of language, especially on the homepage about your apartment. If you could ideally get around 300 to 500 words there, you're going to be doing well.
Okay, great. Facebook, how to talk to Facebook. I've been filling out support tickets. Wrong?
You can do that, but remember, there's billions of people on Facebook now, or at least it's over a billion. They have so many problems. People are always putting in tickets, especially businesses. It takes them forever to get back with you. I can't tell you how many properties call me about, you know, their Facebook issues. The best way I've found to deal with Facebook issues is to get a hold of them via the Facebook chat. And essentially, there's a business section of Facebook, and you can get a hold of their business specialists in there. And generally, they're more helpful than submitting a support ticket.
All right, so let's chat with Facebook instead of supporting tickets. Agree?
Agree.
All right, cool. All right, nap. Let's get nappy. What the heck is a nap, David, and why the heck should I care if I'm in the apartment industry?
All right, so NAP stands for name, address, and phone number. It's one more item that Google uses to track your website, to make sure that you are a legitimate business.
And you need that for the Google 3-pack, which is the map listings and the packs.
Correct. On some keywords you'll notice, especially keywords that start with the word luxury, you'll notice a map comes up, and there's usually 3 properties that are prominently. You want on that. It's gold. You will get prospects all
to get on the map. You got to have your nap.
Yes, exactly, Matt. Exactly. So the nap is critically important, and it's critically important that you use a standardized nap across all different what we call citation properties. That includes Yelp, Yellow Pages, super pages.
And that's something, if they think their nap is screwed up, it's really hard to look at all this. If you call us at 888-683-5885, I can run a report that shows you where your nap is messed up. I'll do that for you for free. Tools to fix it. You can fix it yourself. Wouldn't recommend it because you got over probably 100 plus sites to fix. We buy all of our customers Yext. I know I love Yext, but there's also Bright Local, correct?
Yeah.
Talk about fixing your nap.
Yeah, so what these services do, they have a lot of computer code, and they tie in programmatically into a lot of these sites. They have agreements with these citation services, so they're able to pull down their data and work with their data in real time. So if you subscribe to one of these services, you put in basically your name, address, and phone number. It helps standardize across all the major citation properties. It's extremely helpful. It's extremely helpful, especially if you have a large portfolio and there's sales going on all day long. You can't be logging into Yelp, into Super Pages, and the Yellow Pages, and 100 other top citations that you need to be on every time a property changes hands, or you need to make a change in phone number or even a mailing address.
And forget getting on the nap. You got to fix your nap. Also, they'd be surprised how many times their phone number's wrong hanging out there. The last thing you want is a prospect calling the wrong phone number.
Oh, yeah.
Getting frustrated, calling your competition, signing a lease. Happens all the time.
Happens all the time. Not only that, sometimes properties get old phone numbers and they were going to a doctor's office.
Yeah.
It's just, you need a standardized nap, and you need it across all properties.
All right. I don't want to get too personal on this one. I was traveling out of the country. I was behaving correctly, but I caught an intercity penalty, all right? And they had to give me a shot of penicillin. They inoculated. I feel much better. I'm joking, of course. What the heck's an intercity penalty? Pop-ups, don't do them. Talk to me about that.
All right. So essentially what an intercity is, it's an intermediate page.
Sounds like a rash.
Yeah, I don't like the name either, but that's what Google calls it. That's what the marketing industry calls it. Essentially, it's a page that sits in between the page when the person clicks on a Google search and then goes to your website. So a common one that's intercity that's used in the multifamily industry is a pop-up.
Free month rent.
Free month's rent. Put in your name, email address, and phone number, and you'll get the certificate. Bottom line, don't do it. Don't be seduced by it. Google this year came out very specifically for a penalty that's just for what we call intercity or pop-ups.
They're going to slam you. You're going to disappear from the internet.
Yeah, almost. But you just aren't. I mean, you just aren't going to have great rankings.
Don't use those pop-ups.
Don't use it. Yeah, don't use it. Google thinks it's a horrible user experience, and I got to tell you, just from my own personal surfing of the web, I don't personally like them either, and I suspect most of you don't like them either. So
they could crash a lot of phones and everything too, because you have multiple operating systems with that pop-up.
Yeah, some browsers don't even work well with the pop-up, so it's not good. Don't ever use them.
All right, we've hit this 3 or 4 other times with other subjects, but again, let's talk about making sure the site renders on the desktop, on the tablet, on the mobile, different mobiles. This is huge.
It is huge because prospects are using all different types of devices and computers to find your property. So you need to make sure that they look good on all devices.
Again, that's an easy one though. They can rally some people in the office, say, hey, bring your iPad in, bring your Android phone in. We're gonna have a party. We'll buy everybody some Starbucks and let's sit down. Don't just go to the homepage. Go to all of the pages. Say, hey, be a renter. Shop, look at the units, look at the layouts of the, go through the whole site. You can bribe this is not rocket science. Give them a Starbucks card, have them run through it. 5-10 people in the office in 30 minutes, you can beta test your whole
Exactly.
site.
And then
make sure it's bulletproof.
Exactly, and then write down your problems and give it to your web developer.
All right, let's talk about the king. the king. Content. We hit this a little bit before, but this is something that the apartment industry overlooks. I know in marketing, we're so passionate about our videos and our drone footage and that pretty picture of that great couple sitting by the pool, having a cup of coffee. All good, but let's talk a little bit about content, because content's the king, right?
Content is still the king. And when we're talking about content, specifically, we're talking about textual content. And the reason why it's the biggest, well, it's the biggest for Google. And it's because that is how they use to understand what your website is about. So the more content you can have, not only on the homepage, but on internal pages, the better you're going to rank. And not only the more content, it has to do also with the consistency and the freshness of your content. High-ranking websites are consistently posting new, fresh content on their website. Now, it doesn't have to be specifically about apartments, but what we like to do is we like to have content that's related to the city where your apartment
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. So you could write pieces about events that are going on in Baton Rouge. Or you could, a new restaurant that's opening in
Make
Baton
your site
Rouge.
Useful. Make it something somebody wants to read, not just pretty pictures.
Make it interesting. And do that on a very regular basis, a couple times a month. It helps.
All right. Hope is not a strategy. We all know that term. Also, just for personal advice, buying lottery tickets is not a strategy either. I've tried that a few times.
Yeah, that one doesn't work.
It doesn't work. All right, so my mom always used to tell me, you're never going to get what you want unless you ask for it. Let's talk about a strong call to action on the website. I can't believe how many apartment websites have really no call to action. Talk about that. Why is that important?
So it's a very basic concept in marketing, call and action. It tells the user what you want them to do. So, even if you have a phone number up there, a lot of times people just need sort of sometimes a psychological cue what to do with the phone number.
Call now.
Call now is a great call to action. It's one of the most basic that you can have on your website. Put it in front of the phone number. You'll be surprised. You will get, if the traffic is coming into your site, you will get more calls just by having a simple call to action.
Don't just have the phone number, have it say call us now.
And in your meta description too, a lot of times you want to have a call to action there too. So you could say click now for, call now for tours, or click here to schedule your tour. These command your prospects to do something.
So back at those old, the Jerry Lewis telethons, all those old, there was a reason why they would say operator standing by, call us now.
Right. It absolutely.
Psychological.
It's psychological. This is PSYOPs.
All right. PSYOPs, call to action. Let's do it. All right. HTTPS versus HTTP. I don't know if you're talking about the Soviet Union, some countries that just moved. What the heck are we talking about here?
So we're talking So essentially what HTTP and HTTPS is, HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. You don't need to know what that really is. But the bottom line is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS, one is encrypted, one isn't encrypted. And what Google wants now is an encrypted HTTPS. In fact, they have a rankings boost in their algorithm. They advertise that if you switch your website to HTTPS, we are going to boost your rankings. How much boost that is still debatable, but they simply do it. Have your web developers switch to HTTPS. Just in our own business, we know that Yardi, for example, is switching all their websites to HTTPS. I assume Entrada and some of the others are going to be doing it too, because Google has essentially made it a commandment.
So the S is for secure. Security is good. We can also think of it as a supercharger in terms of rankings.
Yes.
Let's get the S. If they've got any questions, again, call us. We're here to help, whatever you need on that. Okay. Google Webmaster Tools. Why should I get my site connected to Google Webmaster Tools? Why do I care?
So what Google Webmaster Tools, it allows you to sort of see internally how Google sees your site.
Okay.
So if you have a ranking issue, or you have an issue where traffic isn't necessarily coming on in, there's a lot of tools inside there that will help diagnose those issues. It also is one more verification in the piece that you have a legitimate website. Do it, put your website in. It's very, very easy. You just go to google.com/webmastertools, put in your property Gmail, and it'll guide you through the rest.
All right. My daughter is 14 years old. It goes by fast. But luckily, I don't have to deal with this anymore. About 10 years ago when she was 4, I had to watch a lot of Dora the Explorer. And I remember, it's the map, it's the map, it's the map, it's the map. I wanted to just end my life. It was so bad with the Dora. Google sitemap. It's the map. Why should we care about the map? What do we do about our sitemap in Google? What is a sitemap? How do I tell Google about my sitemap?
So essentially what a sitemap is it's an easy way for Google to see what pages you have on your website and what pages you want to be crawled by Google. And essentially there's a number of different ways to create a sitemap. Your web developer, it's an essential thing for web developers. Most of them know what it is. But the key point I want to make is that we had just touched on Google Webmaster Tools. Inside of Webmaster Tools, there's a place where you can put a link to your sitemap, and that even gives Google even better instructions, how to view and see what's on your website. So it's a top tip. It's one of the first things I do and have our team do when we are, starting to work with a new property.
Okay. Purchasing a new domain for the site. Now again, and we can have a whole nother video about this. I don't recommend changing domains just for the sake of marketing purposes because you're starting over fresh. But if you are purchasing a new domain, including the city name, why do they care about that?
Because it's a ranking factor inside of Google. So if you are looking to outrank, another property website, having your city.
So let's say it's a luxury community, right?
Yeah.
I want to call it Equinox. I don't know why everybody wants to call their property Equinox.
I don't know either. But...
We'll call it Equinox. So I should maybe look for Equinox, Tempe, Arizona.
Correct.
For my website.
That would make a great domain because the fact is you're telling them what the property name is and you're telling them what the city name is. It's you're getting a double boost inside of Google, and you will reap the ranking rewards if you can get that done. But I want to caution everybody. And you said we could write a whole video on domains.
Yeah.
That's just sort of one piece on it. So be.
Call a professional if you're thinking about
changing it. There's a lot involved in shifting to a new domain.
Something that I know why a lot of people are afraid of maybe not including the city name. Back in the days, back in the late 90s, I know we all tried to get as short of a www as possible because the thought was, I don't want to make David type in www Equinox Tempe, Arizona. That's a long. Nobody's typing in addresses anymore. They're searching Google, they're finding the link, they're clicking on it. Try and remember the last time that you actually did a www in your address bar. You probably haven't in a long time, unless it's Amazon or eBay. That's probably the only two that I do. What you're going to do if Equinox is in Tempe, you're still going to go into Google and type in Equinox Apartments,
and
find the link, and then click it, right?
Exactly.
So don't worry so much about your domain being long. Other than printing it out on business cards, you don't want it 4 pages, but I don't think it's that big of a deal, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, quality backlinks. I know this is near and dear to us because it's a big part of our job here at Multifamily Traffic. What the heck's a backlink? And I know you could spend 3 hours on this in less than a minute. What's a backlink? Why do I care? What's quality versus backlink smells a little funky.
Essentially, a backlink is a vote from another website. I mean, that's the easiest way to think about it. And it's key to Google's search engine. Not only the number of backlinks, but the quality of where those backlinks are sitting are important to good rankings. In fact, I can tell you, despite what you hear, it's the #1 factor in good rankings to have good, solid backlinks.
Okay, we'll do a video. Let's make a promise. We're going to do a whole series on backlinks. So follow the YouTube channel. Give us a like. Give us a follow. Stay tuned. Let's do more on that because I think we owe them a lot more.
Yeah, that we can do a whole video on.
Okay. Marketing is awesome. I know we're talking to a lot of people out there that are marketers. They just happen to work in this industry. Something that breaks my heart. There are so many fantastic marketing companies. There's great SEO companies that you can work with. There's great, you name it, there's great companies out there. However, we're in an industry where I think they need to find not only a great company, but a great company that understands the multifamily industry. Whether it's SEO, which what we do, AdWords management, what we do, Let's talk a little bit about the frustrations of maybe they're working with a great provider, but that provider doesn't understand multifamily. They don't understand the difference between an A property, a B property, a C property, a HUD, a Section 8. The next thing you know, that great company that they're working with has bought them ads. Those ads creep to cheap, which creeps to affordable, which creeps to no credit check, which goes to felon friendly. I have actually, just this morning, I found a campaign that was paying, I think, $3 with a competitor to send them clicks, and they had ads running with felon-friendly or all bills paid apartments. Why should they care as they're hiring a marketer to make sure that marketer has multifamily experience?
Because first of all, we understand the traffic style. We understand what your properties are. I mean, we understand the difference between a Section 8 and a luxury property, and what amenities we're going to be pushing for a prospect. So because we understand the industry, we can help shape your marketing in a way that's going to drive the highest and best quality prospect for you.
And they should run that test not only for us, not only for SEO, but anybody they work with. They should maybe kind of give them a pop quiz on the industry.
I'm just going to give you a basic tip here that I see all the AdWords companies doing. They run, most AdWords companies that we run into run
Google AdWords, that's
pay-per-click. They run national campaigns. Now, why? All right, yes, you will have some companies who are relocating, and you will have people who are out of state. But if you are a leasing professional, if you are a multifamily professional,
you got to lease up in Phoenixville, Massachusetts, or Cheyenne, Wyoming.
You know that your best prospects are local. I mean, it is leasing 101. Why would you be spending all that money
to show somebody in San Francisco the ad when somebody in Boulder, Colorado
is a lot higher? The probability that they're going to lease from you is a lot higher than the guy in San Francisco. So,
David, I'm right here on Pearl and 29th in Boulder. Oh, you work right down the street at the Google office. I know we go down to that Google office a lot. I actually have a 2-bedroom. I can't hold it. It's available right now. Can you come by after work?
Right.
Versus what if I call and I'm in Los Angeles and they're in Boulder? It's like, okay, great. And they just spent $3 for that.
Yeah, the probability is a lot lower.
There's enough live bodies. Yeah. By the way, I don't care if you're even in Cheyenne. There's enough live bodies in Cheyenne to rent those units.
Yeah. Don't waste your AdWords make sure your AdWords campaigns don't waste dollars on nationwide searches. It's not a good value for your money.
All right, I think we hit about 2021 there. I know you and I could go on all day about this. Whatever you guys need, whether you're an associate with NAA, whether you're not with NAA, if you need anything at all, if you've got questions, feel free to call us. Our office line is 888-683-5885. I'm going to give you my cell. I'm not going to give you David's because I will get a hold of him, but you know he's in the cave with the big monitors, and something might blow up if his cell phone's ringing all the time. I don't know. My cell, you can call me. You can even text me, 303-803-7372. Whatever you guys need, we're here for you. We want to help, especially with NAA. They've done so much for us. They did so much for our business this year.
Right way.
My just quick last tip on NAA, get more involved with it. These guys are amazing. The guys and gals at NAA, what they've done just in the last couple years in reorganizing the company, they are here to help you. They are dying to help you. Help them help you. Get involved. Reach out. If you don't go to the NAA conferences and you're in the industry, go. If your VP, if your owner says, I don't want to spend the money, NAA can actually help you sell them on getting you. If you like the kind of the stuff that we've given you on this video, get more involved with NAA because they're partnering with people that are going to give you this red meat content that you use. I can't say enough great things about NAA.
Absolutely. Yeah, we love NAA.
Give us a call. We're happy to hear from you. Follow the videos, 888-683-5885. I'm Matt Easton with Multifamily Traffic. This is David Metzel. We're out.
See you later.